Now, the NUP presidential candidate, Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu, has castigated the Electoral Commission Chairperson, Byabakama, for failing to address the use of force by security officers on his supporters. Kyagulanyi claims the state is deliberately frustrating his campaigns by scaring his supporters whenever he attempts to speak to them. NTV's Daniel Kibet has been covering Kyagulanyi today in Kayunga district and joins us live. Kibet, good evening. Thank you for joining us. How was Kyagulanyi's campaigns today?
Good evening, Paul Sonko, and of course viewers of NTV tonight at this particular time. We're coming to you live from Jinja City, and this particular place where I'm standing is Ripon Street in Jinja City, and we're here because the NUP presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi will be campaigning here tomorrow. But you asked me how the day has been like for the NUP presidential candidate. You know, for the past 4 days, it's been really tough for Kyagulanyi, his campaign team, plus his supporters, because since he started campaigning here in Buganda land, in Kawempe, Boikwe, Mukono, and even today in Kayunga, it's been sort of chaotic because police were constantly clashing with their supporters. Tear gas was being fired. Some people were injured in the process, and that is something that he condemned a lot, and he said that the Electoral Commission really knows what is going on. The chairperson has been following news, and there's no doubt that he knows what exactly is happening and the clashes that is happening. And his concern is that the kind of force that is being used on him is not, being used on other presidential candidates, the 8 other presidential candidates. And so he's so much concerned. Actually, before we play for you what he said, yesterday I had an exclusive sit down with him, and I asked him, looks like you are claiming the EC is not listening to you and security is not listening to you. We are seeing continuous clash between your supporters and police. What is the way forward for you? And he said that they have run out of options, and going forward they're just going to face the situation the way it is. But let us play to you what the bite of what he actually said when police interfered, or police attempted to fire, not attempted really, but police fired tear gas when he was addressing his supporters at one of the venues in Kayunga. Let's listen in.
Shame on you, Uganda police. We are campaigning. Why are you shooting at us when we are campaigning? Why are you shooting at us? You should be ashamed of yourself. You are supposed to be officers of the law, but you are acting like criminals. You are shooting bullets at peaceful people. This is a presidential campaign. This is a campaign. You criminals. Why are you doing that? Mr. Byabakama, you are the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Is exactly what is happening, and you're pretending that you don't see. The Uganda police are turning into criminals. They are shooting at people, they are killing people. This Uganda saying the way we're supposed to campaign.
All right, now, Daniel, from that, how much do you think the government is spending to trail Kyagulanyi and control his supporters?
Sonko, the cost is quite huge, because when you see, to begin with, the security vehicles that are trailing Kyagulanyi everywhere that he's been to, a huge number of vehicles. Yesterday alone I counted more than 10 of them, and you see, these do not use water to move. They use fuel, and who is buying this fuel? It is the taxpayer who is buying fuel so that these police vehicles can move. And by the way, these police vehicles are armed, are heavily loaded with armed policemen and soldiers. But the other thing that I want to talk about is the cost in terms of tear gas. I was just doing a rough survey online, and I realized that the global average price of a single tear gas canister goes for about $10 to about $50, depending on the type, quality, and plus, of course, the manufacturer. And so that means if you're to convert that money to Ugandan money, $10 is about 36,000 and $50 is about 181,000. Now, let's put it at an average of maybe 100,000. Each day, more than 100 tear gas canisters are fired. That translates to tens of millions. And in the end, who is buying this tear gas? It is the taxpayer. I am paying taxes so tear gas can be bought, and the same tear gas is fired back at me. But what's quite annoying here is that I'm not a security expert, but I've seen police fire tear gas even when it is not unnecessary, when it's not necessary at all. They've been firing tear gas to banana plantations, and so that speaks a lot. So we are using a lot of money to control Kyagulanyi and his supporters, or the government is using a lot of money to control Kyagulanyi and other supporters, unlike all the other presidential candidates, Sonko.
It's taxpayers' money, and maybe this is why we are in this situation. All right, Daniel Kibet, let me ask one more question. Where do you think he will be campaigning tomorrow, or where will he be campaigning tomorrow?
All right, Sonko, tomorrow the NUP candidate will be campaigning here in Jinja City and Iganga town, Iganga district. But of course, we are waiting to see if the situation will be different from what we've already witnessed for the past 4 days, if it will become. But from what we've observed, there's already deployment here. So we anticipate that there's going to be the same script, really, chaos tomorrow. And then after tomorrow on Saturday, he will be coming back to Buganda land, and he will be going to Masaka City on Saturday.
And of course, quite appalling there in the situation, because that is taxpayers' money that's being used in that.